Give a fish, teach to fish, delivering hope. A Paying It Forward, self-improvement and personal development charitable community outreach initiative. Founded, supported, and funded by Denuzo Private Wealth, Inc. Thank you for joining us today. Pappy's mission is to spread his message of positivity and hope to all of his fellow brothers and sisters in need across the globe. And with the help of technology like Zoom and WhatsApp, Pappy's able to speak to your group no matter where you are. So if you're looking for an inspirational speaker, please book Pappy to speak to your organization or book him to speak for free to your nonprofit group that would love to hear his message of hope, inspiration, abundance, and peace of mind. Also, I am very excited and happy to share some great news with our listeners. Pappy's pleased to announce that we have expanded into social media. It's just one more way that Pappy can share his positive message with everyone. We recently launched Pappy Mindset Coach on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, Twitter, and Facebook. So like and subscribe to Pappy Mindset Coach on all of the social medias, but most importantly, share so that you can assist us in promoting Pappy's important message of hope and inspiration with our fellow brothers and sisters in need all around the world. So let's go to Pappy now to set the table. Good morning, Pappy.
Good morning, Mikey. Good morning, Suzanne. Thank you both for setting up another wonderful show. I never take either of you for granted. You both do a phenomenal job. So thank you for making this all that it is. I'd like to greet our audience, Mikey. Namaste. The spirit of me greets the spirit in you. Again, the spirit of me greeting the spirit of you. There's no more higher greeting that we can give to each other. That's our highest level. You all, everyone on this webinar workshop today possesses a perfect spirit, perfect spiritual DNA, and a perfect spiritual spark. So never underestimate that. You have literally creative power within you. All power and all knowledge of all time resides within you. And again, I always remind you, you know your definition of universal power. When I say universal intelligence, universal subconscious mind, universal light, source power, source energy, that is the creator of all. And you know who you believe, the individual entity, however you think of it, to be the creator of all. And you just plug that in for that. So I stay as high as possible, as neutral as possible. I'm just coming to you today, as always, from a spiritual perspective. I never talk about religion or anything below the very highest level of spirituality. And I just give so much gratitude today, Mikey, as I say, for every day. As soon as we wake up in bed, we want to start to offer affirmations. As soon as we wake up, we should give praise and thanks that we have work to do, that there's something for us to do. We have something to accomplish. We have something for us to enjoy. And the universe, Mikey, the key words of the universe is, people ask me all the time, Pappy, you say your message is one of hope, inspiration, abundance, and peace of mind. If you could sum it up, what would it be? And I could sum it up in one word, as I always do, Mikey: love. This universe is structured on love. It's about love. It's about enjoyment. It's about love, joy, and happiness. So all of our listeners, Mikey, are to be full of love, full of joy, full of happiness. Let joy be your guide. When you wake up and go through your day, what do you enjoy doing? As you focus on what you enjoy doing, on what brings you joy, the universe will bring more of that into your life. If you're focusing more on the opposite, on what you don't want, the universe will bring more of that into your life. So focus on being full of love, loving our fellow brothers and sisters, especially forgiving our fellow brothers and sisters. Don't hold on to it. It's doing more damage to you than anyone else who you may think in this earthly realm is your quote unquote enemy or something like that. Let it go. Forgive and forget. Just let it go. Absolutely, my brothers and sisters. And follow your joy, follow love, follow joy, follow happiness, and more of it would be brought into your life. Never forget, we live in a perfect world within a perfect universe, and it's a thought world within a thought universe, and it all operates off of the law of attraction. It's all generated by our thoughts. It's all generated by our thoughts. And how does it work with you and your thoughts? Never forget, my fellow brothers and sisters, you are a magnet. You are a magnet, and you draw into you what your thoughts contain. You got a lot of good thoughts, a lot of good's going to be drawn to you. A lot of bad thoughts, a lot of bad's going to be drawn to you. You control this. You possess true creative power within you. So wake up in the morning. I am so happy and grateful now. Today is a magnificent day. I am so happy and grateful now that I have been given heaven on earth today. How have you been given heaven on earth? That you have the power of free will that's been given to you, and you have creative power to create and manifest anything you can imagine within you, creative power within you. Never, ever give up your power. Never, ever give that up. As soon as your feet hit the floor, thank you. When one foot hits, thank your other foot hits the ground. Thank you when your feet hit. I even like to do a real quick tap, Mikey, back and forth. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and bring a real big smile on my face. We're here for another day. The universe still has a plan for you. You still have expression, expansion, increase, and growth, and love to share with your fellow brothers and sisters. And all that awaits you is the most magnificent day you've ever had, today and every day when you wake up. So again, we live in a thought world within a perfect and infinite thought universe. The great news is, again, Mikey, some folks have told me, Pappy, it's sort of like a pep talk when you talk, and we love pep talks, but you are an eternal spiritual being. You are endless. You are an eternal spiritual being. You are endless, that possesses a perfect spirit, perfect spiritual DNA, and a perfect spiritual spark. That's a pretty good day right there, Mikey. You're an eternal and endless spiritual being that has perfection and creative power within you. So let's access that. Let's learn this genius and this power and this knowledge of all time that is inside of every one of our fellow brothers and sisters. And let's learn to access that. That's what my workshop webinar is for. I remind you to be grounded until you get your process down, so to speak, until you get your ritual down. I talk about a lot of different key ingredients. You will gravitate towards a handful. Some you'll just work better with. All of our fellow brothers and sisters have different skills and how you absorb information and what you're comfortable with and what puts off your highest vibration. So keep an open mind. But I remind you to read every day, if you can, at least one page in my book, to focus on something. You'll find something on every single page. If you can, read more than one page. And again, Mikey, what a lot of our fellow brothers and sisters are having a lot of success with on the feedback that I get is from my book on Audible, the audio version of my book, in which I am reading it to you. And there is a material exchange of energy, material delivery of energy that a lot of our fellow brothers and sisters are experiencing. And you don't even have to set aside time to actively listen to it. You could be working at your desk, doing something. You could be doing your laundry, whatever it is, preparing a meal, and just play it in the background. Your subconscious mind is taking that in. Just let it hear that. I was talking to a gentleman, Mikey, who's a producer from Nashville, Tennessee. And he told me, Pappy, he said, this has been such a game changer. He said, I used to leave the news on in the background, or leave the radio on, or whatever else it is. News would come on, different commercials. And he said, whenever I'm feeling a little bit lower vibration, I've got your book on Audible. I go and I put it on. I just play it in the background. He said, honestly, I'm doing my work. A lot of times, it may be on for half an hour, 45 minutes. I don't think that I hear a word, he said, but it puts me at ease. It raises my vibration. It raises my frequency. So whatever works for you, again, your conscious mind is here to serve as a shield to cancel, reject all this negative information is coming toward you every single day. On the other front, Mikey, a lot of good news that you had mentioned on the social media. So we encourage all of our fellow brothers and sisters to engage with us, to follow us, post what we're placing on social media. We're on all of the major social media platforms. And again, it's a message of hope, inspiration, abundance, and peace of mind. So hopefully you can turn on your family, friends, relatives, neighbors, fellow countrymen, countrywomen, anyone else you think this message of hope, inspiration, abundance, and peace of mind can help. So we have reached out, as you said, Mikey, made a lot of good inroads. We made a lot of good inroads into Kenya, and I got a separate introduction and into Uganda, the Southern Sudan, and then Rwanda is up next on the list. But we're making inroads into Uganda and the Sudan. And what I'd like to share, Mikey, this just literally came over this weekend. I love to share this with the audience. This will just give the audience a feel for our work, what we're doing, how it's being received. And this is a email, Mikey, I received from Miss Pamela, Madam Pamela, who is a lead teacher and guidance counselor at the Freehold School, which is in Nakuru, Kenya. And I've been going through a class teaching over 200 students and a number of teachers as well who sit in every time. Usually we'll have 3 or 4, 5 or 6 teachers who sit in on the sessions as well. And this is an email that came in, a testimonial that came over from Miss Pamela, Madam Pamela, this weekend, Mike. And I just want to share it with our audience. It's just so powerful. And again, Nakuru is about 4 hours outside of Nairobi, which is one of the largest cities in Kenya. So it's sort of a little bit out there and more towards a rural area as far as we'd be familiar with in the United States. And this is her feedback from the work, from the classes I've been offering And we've been doing this, as Mikey said earlier, thank goodness for the wonders of modern technology through Zoom, been offering these classes. So again, I'll just read directly from Miss Pamela's email, Mikey. And this is in Miss Pamela Awar's voice. This is her testimonial that she typed. The invaluable lessons learned from Pappy's sessions with my students cannot be overemphasized. The powerful snippets have not only changed my students at Freehold Comprehensive School to believe that their background does not determine who they can be, but also has made them believe that they can actually manifest anything they want to. Pappy's interaction with the students on various concepts, like how powerful their thoughts are, has started them on a journey of being conscious and deliberate about what they think of themselves. The other concept that Pappy emphasizes that he has made about them is that they are very, very, very special. This did resonate with them, with where they are now as teenagers, and has helped them to not unfairly compare themselves with others, but to know that they are unique and that they each have a place in this beautiful world we live in. They now know that they are special and they are needed the way that they are, and do not need to feel inadequate because they don't have this or the other. The hope Pappy gave us through becoming 1% better every day was so practical. This is doable on so many levels for the students, doing away with the bad and filling oneself with what is positive. This is manageable and not a daunting task. There are many more lessons that the students will learn with Pappy, even as they continue with the interactions with him. One thing I can say for sure is that a journey towards manifesting greatness for my students has begun. And I can't wait to see the great men and women they will be in their spaces! Exclamation point from Miss Pamela. I am so glad that Pappy is not only inspiring my students here in Kenya, but also in other African countries like the South Sudan and Uganda. This is just the beginning of great manifestations! Exclamation point. Let's manifest! Exclamation point. Madam Pamela, teacher, guidance counselor, Freehold Comprehensive School, Nakuru, Kenya. So there
Wow,
you go.
that's awesome.
There you
That is
go.
amazing to think that you're making that impact so far. You're like in this small little town here, and you're reaching across the globe to these people, to these kids, and giving them hope and inspiration. And like you say, like it's just, even if it's just one person, you're making a huge impact on someone's life. That, to me, that's, I have goosebumps. That's awesome. That's an amazing email.
It's just so special. And Miss Pamela, she's so busy. I got a number of other testimonials from other teachers a number of weeks back, and she kept on telling me, because I WhatsApped with her again the other day, and she's like, yeah, Pappy, I'm working on them, Miss Pamela, whenever you get it, that's fine. So I had no idea it was coming over, but it's definitely the most lengthy testimonial I've ever received, easily by far. And like I said, it just warms your heart, and just you can tell what they're going through there, the challenges that they have, and to have that type of positive attitude, upbeat, and elevation, their vibration and frequency, and just them starting to live their lives and recognizing that they can live their life inside out and be in control rather than outside in. It's just such an uplifting message. And we'll be posting that to pappymindsetcoach.com, to the website, here within the next week, Mikey. We'll get that up, added to our other testimonials as well.
That's awesome. And sometimes it just takes somebody to remind them that they are capable and that they can do whatever they want. Like it's hard when you're living somewhere like that. Your basic needs sometimes aren't met, to think that you can like expand your world, but you can. And sometimes you just need that reminder, that message to come across to them. And what's great about that is that you have so many inroads now. You have your book, both your Audible book, your physical book. You have social media now. And what's nice about social media is that people can comment and you can comment back to them. You know, you have WhatsApp. You have so many ways to reach out to people all across the world. And that's just so exciting to me. And another way that you can reach out is through your Concepts to Live By, where you send 2 weekly emails to everyone on our mailing list. And just reminding everyone that repetition is your key to manifesting. And you have some concepts that you want to share with us today?
Yes, Mikey. These are, again, thank you for reminding our audience, our fellow brothers and sisters, about the concepts to live by. We send these out. All we ask is go on our website, pappymindsetcoach.com, and there's a number of green bars as you scroll through the website, at least a half a dozen, where you can just click on, just give us your name and your email address, and that's the free email link, so to speak, Mikey, for everything that I send out that's free. And every week, as you mentioned, we like to send out 2 concepts to live by. And again, just there's a lot of negativity out there, and let's focus on the positive. And these are great uplifters. I get folks who tell me all the time, Pappy, I listen to these in the background. I listen to them multiple times. They may be 2 or 3 minutes long. Some may be 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes long on the concepts to live by. And we had sent a number. We're sending out 2 every week, so we've got a few to go through. I'll go through at least 1, if not 2, today, Mikey. The big one, the first one you have up, that's the oldest one I haven't gone through yet, is subconscious mind. This is sort of the holy grail. This we could do shows, multiple hour shows on just this topic. But I've talked with you, fellow brothers and sisters, about the stick figure. And when I ask anyone, what do you think your mind is? 99% of the people when I first meet them will say, Pappy, I think it's my brain. And as I said, our mind, we want to get a visual picture to help us internalize this to start off with. So as I say, your brain is no more of your mind than is your nose and your toes. So your mind is 3 key elements working together. So think about that big circle drawn around your head, your physical head here, with a horizontal line through the middle, a C on top for your conscious mind, an SC on the bottom for your subconscious mind, one little line going down to a lot smaller circle, put a B on that for your body, and a line up on each side for arms and hands, a line down on each side for legs and feet. And it's that conscious mind working in harmony with your subconscious mind, working in harmony with your body. Your body is an instrument of your mind that equals your mind. Now, by far and away, the most important element of that equation, Mikey, so to speak, is your subconscious mind, the bowl here, the bottom half of that circle. In your subconscious mind, fellow brothers and sisters, in your subconscious mind resides your paradigm. And your paradigm, the easiest way to think about this is basically your software operating system. This contains your entire belief system that you have on earth. Now, your belief system, as we talked before, was formed to a great extent before the top half of that circle, your conscious mind, was developed. So in the first 7 years of your life, you receive thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds and hundreds of thousands of suggestions of which you could not cancel or reject, that went into your subconscious mind that build out your software operating system from which you operate. Even go with basic things. You didn't pick your name. You were given your name. A lot of faith-based structures, the religion or the faith you may practice, you didn't pick that. That was given to you. All these things were set in motion before you had a chance to make decisions, maybe the education path that you went on, where you were living, obviously, all these things outside of your control. And your software operating system was getting built out. What parents or guardians, aunts, uncles, siblings, brothers and sisters, all the information, all the statements they made, and we call these suggestions that were made that you could not cancel or reject or refuse to participate or flip them around and turn them into a positive, all went in and all build out your software operating system. So it's what I say, Mikey, is that my fellow brothers and sisters listening in today, that you have a virus in your software operating system from which you operate. And we want to identify that, and we want to debug that virus and eliminate it. So how do we do that? We do that by establishing excellent positive rituals in which to oversimplify. We're going to that subconscious mind. We're taking out bad habits, ideally every day, putting in a couple or few or more good habits every day, taking out bad habits, putting in good habits. And we're just working on this to elevate yourself to be able to get 1% better every single day. That's what our goal is, to get 1% better. And as I said, Mike, we've got these 2 sort of big bars. Like if you think of a bar, like a chart, a bar graph, and one's positive, the other's negative. You can get 1% better today by raising what's positive, just 1%. You can raise that by 1%. You can drop what's negative just by 1%. It could be some combination. Ideally, your positivity increases and your negativity decreases, but you can get 1% better every day. Whenever Miss Pamela gave us that feedback, Mikey, that testimonial and the email she sent over, if you notice, that was one thing that resonated with the 13, 14, and 15-year-olds that she teaches in the Nakuru, Kenya, was they're like, yes, I can get 1% better today. The other one that brings to mind, Mikey, the most powerful slide, and you never know what slide is going to resonate with people, but I just had a slide. One of my slides was, you are very, very, very special. That's what was on the slide. They went nuts over that. They were jumping up and down. They were related. And Miss Pamela played it up. She was like, and students, do you see Pappies? How special are you? They said, very, no, very, very. They were playing us all off. They were saying very, very, very. They were sort of chanting it. They were getting so excited that someone believes in them and that they can get 1% better every day and that they are very, very, very special. So these, Mikey, we're talking about right now, these are positive suggestions we're placing in our subconscious mind and others right now. When I'm telling everyone on the workshop webinar today that you have creative power within you, you have perfect spirit, you are very, very, very special. Let these suggestions flow. You want as much positive flowing into you as possible to elevate your vibration, elevate your frequency. So it's in our subconscious mind, Mikey, that is our subjective mind. The top half of the circle, the dome on top, is our conscious mind, which is our objective mind. That's our thinking mind. Our subconscious mind is our feeling mind, and our subconscious mind is our direct connection to the universal subconscious mind. So I think of it a little bit, Mikey, just a little bit differently, that there's this large glowing almost sun in our upper chest, like let's say where our heart's at in every individual. This is pulsating. It's like a white gold, yellow gold, gold color, the most beautiful gold colors on earth. And it's radiating, it's pulsing. It's got so much energy of our subconscious mind. And there's a laser, a pure laser with that same light from me to you, from every fellow brothers and sisters on this call, from me to Mikey, from me to Suzanne, from us back and forth, up to every entity in the collective, up to source energy, all connected. That is your connection to all power and all knowledge of all time. Your subconscious mind is right next to you all day long, whispering in your ear the absolute best guidance, advice, recommendation, nudging you in the right direction all day long. Every waking moment you have, and even while you're sleeping at night often, nudging you in the right direction, giving you perfect, not good, not great, perfect advice for you to be able to manifest anything you can imagine. So clear out this clutter, get all these bad frequencies and static out of the way, get completely wired into your subconscious mind to get in tune with it. And as I said before, my subconscious mind offers me the recommendation, suggestion, solution, whatever it is, again, in a nonverbal. The universe does not connotate. It's a nonverbal, non-linguistic universe. It's telepathic. It's mental, and it's just on the screen of your mind. It will give you the advice, and it gives it to me for 1 or 2 seconds. That's if I'm wide open, if I'm paying attention, if I'm in attunement, everything, and pay keen attention to that. When I was driving into work earlier this morning, Mikey, I had my cell phone charging back in my house. I just started to pull out, and bam, get your cell phone. That wasn't my conscious mind that told me to do that. That was my subconscious mind. That was my subconscious mind that reminded me, gave me the greatest advice on earth. Hit the brake. You just started. I went like 10 feet. Hit the brake. You forgot your cell phone. Go back in and get your cell phone. So pay attention as we go through the day, Mikey, with the recommendations, with what we're getting. And when you start to understand, hey, this is coming from another place. I'm not thinking about this. And the advice that I'm getting, do this, don't do that, left, right, whatever else it is, your subconscious mind is giving you the greatest advice possible. I'll mention one last thing, Mikey, because we could talk about our subconscious minds all day. But your communication mechanism, when I talk about the perfect spirit, perfect spiritual DNA, perfect spiritual spark inside of you, I can refer to this also. You are an extension, Mikey. We're all an extension of source energy. That's the concept, that we're all co-creating. We're co-creating, all of us, with source energy. We're co-creating with source energy. And we all, Mikey, are an extension of this energy. We're an extension of this energy. It's inside of us. Same exact. When I tell the students, Mikey, from Kenya, when I talk about a perfect spirit, perfect spiritual DNA, perfect spiritual spark, and when I tell them, and I look into the camera, I communicate with them as if I'm looking into their eyes and tell them that the spiritual DNA in them is the exact same spiritual DNA in me. The exact same spiritual DNA with all of our fellow brothers and sisters all across planet Earth. They sit up, their eyes light up. I mean, that means so much to them when they hear that. And it's the gospel truth that we all have the same exact spiritual DNA inside of us. So with our subconscious mind, our signaling mechanism, Mikey, and I try to name things to make it easier for people to get their minds around. And I would call this from our higher self within us. I would call it our harmony, like a harmony barometer. And just think of this barometer, Mikey, like the middle of it's here, and above here is a plus, high vibration, happy, good, and below here is low vibration, bad, etc. And our higher self is signaling to us all day long. So when you're in a good mood, when you're feeling great, when you're upbeat, when there's a pep in your step, when you're in the zone, in the flow, your higher self, the extension of source energy inside of you, is telling you, stay here. This is your zone. This is your flow. This is your happy place. Stay in here, recognize it so you can get back here again and stay in here as long as you can. If you're feeling anything negative from a human perspective, low vibration, low frequency, all of the low vibration are out there, basically just anything bad or discomfort, you're in a low vibration. Your higher self, source energy inside of you, your extension of source energy is saying, let's get out of here. This is not good. We don't like this. This is not good for us. Let's end this. Let's move on. Let's go to a higher and better place. Our higher self is signaling us all day long. And pay attention, get in alignment, get in attunement, get in frequency, get in vibration, understand it with what your body is telling you. But this is the greatest feedback mechanism. I mean, Mikey, we've been gifted in so many ways with the gifts we've been given, the gifts we've been given just naturally that we all receive, and the gifts we've been giving to enhance and manage these wonderful assets that we've been given, and the reminders that we're giving, and just how everything works. But it's the fairest system on earth. You can literally manifest anything you can imagine, but you need to get in tune with yourself. That's why we want to, with our subconscious mind, ideally get 15 or 20 minutes a day. We have our early morning rituals, our rituals throughout the day, our rituals before we go to sleep. But ideally take 15 or 20 minutes sometimes during the course of the day and just sit in your power. Just sit there. Just sit in your power. Sit in your power and just think about what you want. Just think about what makes you happy. Just think about what you desire. Think about health, wealth, and happiness. Think about the wheel of life, about different elements of your life and what makes you happy. And you can visualize, and you can even go through thinking about what you want. Open yourself up to the universe for additional wants, because we're all here to further express, expand, increase, and grow. And as we talked before, Mikey, sitting in our power, immersing ourselves in our space, in our power, and our superpower, it could be through exercise, it could be through music, it could be through, as I said, I've had my fellow brothers and sisters tell me, Pappy, I get into this when I'm running my sweeper at home. I get into this when I'm in a shower. I get into this when I'm going for a walk in the woods. I get into this when there's, let's say, a running stream or creek close to my house, and I'm close to that, and I'm near that water, and it's moving, and the water and the energy, I get in this place. However you're able to do it, and a lot of our fellow brothers says you identify a couple of different ways you're able to get in this space. Sit there, and if you can, what's strong for me is visualizing, and you're just visualizing the life of your dreams. You're visualizing the life of your dreams. You're feeling the emotions of your dreams. You assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, of it already being accomplished, and how great that feels. And again, if you're in a great happy place, you're going to attract more happy to you. If you're in a sad or despondent place, you're going to attract more sadness and despondency to you. So you control everything that comes into your life. The life you're living right now is the accumulation of the manifestation, what you've manifested, and the majority of over the last hours, days, weeks, months as in less than a year, less than 12 months. So you can turn this around in short order to start to be able to manifest anything you can imagine. And it all starts, the epicenter of all of this is your subconscious mind. That is where your paradigm resides, your software operating system that operates you for all of your beliefs that are in your life. And you can program that through auto suggestions from yourself to yourself, and by getting a great daily ritual we talk about all the time, so that you can be in control and manifest anything you can imagine.
I think the subconscious mind is probably one of my favorite concepts. You can literally talk about it all day. To me, it is just so, it's so powerful. And it's like people wonder, like, why isn't the universe answering me? And they get into their paradigm, they get into their self-doubt. And you basically just said, like, the universe is answering you, the universe is friendly. You just have to be open to it. And I just think I love the figure that you have, the stick figure. It makes it so simple. But another way to look at it is kind of like that movie, The Wizard of Oz. Like your subconscious mind is that all-powerful wizard that's hiding behind that curtain, just controlling like everything. And you just have to learn how to harness that power of your subconscious mind. To me, that is powerful.
And that all powerful wizard, Mikey, to use that metaphor, must listen. Mikey's the boss. All of our fellow brothers and sisters here today in a workshop webinar, you are the boss. What you instruct it to do by universal law, it must do. You give it all 10 happy thoughts. So, Mikey, when I do my gratitude in the morning, I give gratitude that every single prayer of mine is answered and granted unto me. I give gratitude that every single affirmation that I offer is granted, is honored and granted unto me. I give gratitude that every goal that I set is granted and delivered unto me. I give gratitude that every 10x goal that I set is granted and delivered unto me. So if our fellow brothers and sisters, Mike, even if they just start off with their prayers and give gratitude for that, every prayer that they offer up is granted to them, is received and granted to them. Every prayer, the universe says that every prayer, every affirmation is granted, and you just start to make it positive. You just start to acknowledge and give gratitude and appreciation. I mean, the average individual, Mikey, is just underestimating by a degree that I can't even quantify the power that resides within each of us, each and every one of us, all 8 billion plus of us, all across planet Earth. The power that you have inside of you, that's what I'm here for, is to get you to remember and to get you to access this power within you and to teach you what it is and then to coach you up on how to do it. That's what I'm here for. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Since I went long on that one, Mikey, I'm only going to do one of the concepts to live by today because I went long. It's hard to do an executive summary of
We could do
subconscious
a whole
mind.
show on the subconscious mind. And the subconscious
Yeah.
mind's even better than the wizard because it gives us unlimited wishes, not just a heart, not just a brain. It's unlimited wishes, just like the lamp that you always talk about, Pappy's magic lamp. Unlimited wishes. You just have to learn how to control it and harness it. And there's no better coach than you to help us harness our subconscious mind and to give us some manifest coaching tips that you want to share with us.
Yeah, Mikey, the manifesting coaching tip that we have on today's workshop webinar is affirmations. This is really at the heart and soul. And you don't have to get so much hung up on affirmations. Some of our brothers and sisters who are listening in today, you could look at this as prayer. You could be very devoted to prayer. And that's the space that you're in when you're sitting within yourself and communicate with your subconscious mind. That may be the best way for you to communicate. Other fellow brothers and sisters, Mikey, that I teach and coach and come in contact with, they're comfortable with more of a mantra approach. Again, that's fine. But no matter what it is, Mikey, if it's a prayer, if it's an affirmation, if it's a mantra, these are auto suggestions. These are suggestions from ourselves to ourselves. Dream, wish, elevate your emotion, elevate your vibration, elevate your frequency, dream big, think big. You can manifest anything you can imagine. So step into your 10x bigger, better self every single day. Step into this great giant self-image of yourself and ask big, think big, dream big, live big in your affirmations. And again, it could be health, it could be wealth, it could be anything in happiness, relationships, partner, job, career, whatever else it may be. But think and live and act and give gratitude all in a very big manner. So in affirmations, Mikey, specifically what I teach is, I think it's so great because of, again, that ritual part, I am. And those are the first two words. So capital I, capital A-M, I am. And just by I am, Mikey, and I remind our fellow brothers and sisters, to be as confident, as forceful, as full of energy every single time that you say, I am, because what you're recognizing, what you're acknowledging is this creative power within you and this source energy, this perfect spiritual spark within you, and this extension of source energy of perfection that's in you when you say, I am. That's what you're saying. That's what you're acknowledging. That's what you're stating to the universe. I am. And as you get more and more comfortable in that phrase, and as you get 100% comfortable in that phrase, the more comfortable you are, the more things that are just going to fall into your lap over and over and over. When you get to the point you're 100% confident that I am, you truly are, I am, the world is your oyster, Mikey, as far as manifesting anything you can imagine. So we start off our manifesting coaching tip with affirmations. We say, I am so happy, and happy is right there. We always want an elevated vibration, an elevated frequency. I am so happy and grateful. Grateful is we manifest, Mikey, as soon as we have a thought, if you can think of almost just like a laser that goes up above to the fifth dimension or above, and think of, bam, a firework explodes, a beautiful firework like the 4th of July. And the residual from that firework is there's a mold there. That's a mold. It's like if you look inside that mold, oh, that's a mold of a new car. That's a mold of a purse. That's a mold of a grade that I would like to get in grade school, high school, or college. It's a mold of a partner that I would like to be in my life. Whatever that is, your thought initially starts to form a mold. Okay, starts to form a mold. If you think a thought with emotion, there's a ton of fireworks going off. Boom, 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 boom. Beautiful, big fireworks, multiple, not just one with a thought. So the key is thoughts with emotion. And as we said, Mikey, before, and you mentioned the magic lamp that I love talking about, and I remind all our fellow brothers and sisters that you all have a magic lamp inside of you that grants every single wish that you offer up, but B-U-T, but both good or bad. So your thoughts that you apply emotion to, if you really want something, you're going to get it delivered to you. If you really don't want something and you apply a lot of emotion thinking about something that you don't want, it is going to be delivered to you. You have superpowers that currently right now are beyond your wildest imagination, and you need to appreciate these superpowers and use them properly for good, so to speak. So everything in your life you have manifested one way, shape, or form. People may say to me all the time, Pappy, I've got this in my life, I got that in my life. There is no way that I did that. You did that. It came into you as a suggestion. It was in your thoughts. A lot of times, Mikey, it's a combination of our thoughts. So what are affirmations so great about? We control this language and this narrative, Mikey, in affirmations 100%. I am so happy and grateful now that, and then you fill in what your affirmation is, what your desire is. And Mikey, there's no limit to this. Be as creative as you would like to be. I am so happy and grateful now that I achieve every goal that I set with fun, effortlessly, and easily. So we don't have to worry about, is it going to take me working 60 hours or 70 hours a week, Mikey? If one of your affirmations is, I am so happy and grateful now that I achieve every goal that I set with fun, effortlessly, and easily, that's how your goals are going to come to you. That's how your goals are going to come to you. The universe creates. I get people all the time, Mikey, they'll have a financial goal and I say, "Well, Pappy, you don't understand. I'm just this lower position in an organization. I don't have a college education. I don't have confidence in this. It couldn't be me. You don't have any idea how much." And they'll give me some description of how hard it is to come up with so many $1,000s or 100, whatever the numbers are. The universe creates $1 million like it grows a single carrot in the ground, like it grows a single leaf on a tree, like it grows a single blade of grass, like it develops and grows a single grain of sand on the beach. $1 million, these are in our human minds. We're putting weights and challenges and difficulty factors on this. None of this is a challenge whatsoever to the universe. Absolutely nothing. None of these are a challenge. So you get to ask for whatever you desire. So I am so happy and grateful now that, and complete your affirmation. Now, in my book, Mikey, I've got a couple of chapters at the end that are just full of affirmations. And I do know that a lot of our fellow brothers and sisters like the affirmations that I have in the book. I get compliments on those all the time. But what it's equally important, and the purpose that I place it there equally, Mikey, is that to stimulate our fellow brothers and sisters to think about these affirmations and develop your own, customize your own affirmations as to what you want in your life and what you want to bring in your life. And again, affirmations are the most powerful force in the universe. They are an auto suggestion. This is a suggestion you're making from yourself to yourself, and your subconscious mind must, by universal law, act on every suggestion you offer to it. No more powerful way than doing it through an affirmation. Again, as I said, Mikey, if some of our fellow brothers and sisters like Pappy, I'm only comfortable doing it through prayer, I'm only comfortable doing it through a mantra, that's fine. I believe that the best technique for this is using affirmations, but you can do that as well. But I am so happy and grateful now. It's always now. Everything in the universe, the universe is eternally grounded in the present. There is no past, there is no future, always in the present. I am so happy and grateful now that, and then complete that with the dreams of your dreams, the wishes of your wishes, whatever you want to manifest in your life. Complete that. And then the affirmations, Mikey, the most important one when I teach is the 10X affirmation. That's your largest affirmation. That one is, I teach that you want to write that out 3 times right after you wake up in the morning, before you're involved with any interaction with technology of any type, cell phones, smartphones, televisions, anything at all coming at you from technology. I am so happy and grateful now that, and then you write out what your affirmations. You do that 3 times. I also recommend doing a little bit of visualization, at least while you're writing that. Never miss an opportunity to pull your senses as much as you can, sight, smell, taste, hearing, and touch, into your affirmation when you're doing them. Do it again 3 times in the afternoon, and then 3 times late in the evening, ideally close to the time right before you go to bed. So affirmations, Mikey, are one of the number one tools for us to manifest anything we can imagine. And also, Mikey, to help keep us in that high vibration, high frequency, in that elevated state, and also to help turn us around. Some of our fellow brothers and sisters are able to, when I said about that harmony barometer earlier, Mikey, when I said our higher self is letting us know, hey, you're in a low frequency, you're not doing good, you're dejected, this is negative, it's bad, what have you. It's passing those feelings through you. And there are a certain number of fellow brothers and sisters say, hey, I find it by writing out my affirmation, taking my mind off that negative and getting emotionally invested in those affirmations, that I can help pull myself up out of that negativity and get back to a plus or higher vibration. So affirmations are an integral part of us being able to manifest anything we can imagine.
So affirmations are just another tool in our toolbox to awaken our subconscious mind so that we can tell it what we want it to think. So I think that's
Yes.
a great tool to have. And I think that I know it doesn't take any extra time to make it part of your daily ritual either. And I know that it's part of your daily ritual as well. And you do have an affirmation that you want to share with us today.
Yeah, Mikey, the affirmation to share, we share an affirmation out of my book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, with every workshop webinar that we do. And the one that you picked out for today, I love this one. I love all of them, but I do love this one immensely. I am so happy and grateful now that I do every day all that I can and should do each day, taking care to do each action in a successful manner. So what we're reminding ourselves, again, Mikey, when we say that, all of our fellow brothers and sisters, just imagine you stated that affirmation. Again, just think this in your mind, or you can speak along with me. I am so happy and grateful now that I do every day all that I can and should do each day, taking care to do each action in a successful manner. So you've instructed your subconscious mind that that's your standard, that's how you roll, that's your behavior, etc. Now, in my book, Mikey, one thing I love the movie The Secret that came out around 2006, but the movie The Secret underplayed in my mind action that is necessary to manifest anything you can imagine. So like I said, you just can't sit on your couch 24 hours a day watching TV, eating potato chips, and taking no action. There's action involved. We don't have to do a phenomenal amount of action, but there is action involved. I have 2 chapters in my book devoted to action. One is on action. The next one is efficient action. So I call it inspired action. You want to be a high elevation, a vibration and frequency when you're performing your action, but you get to perform the action that you need to complete. It's sort of like helping to pour the liquid into that mold for your new partner, your new house, your new car, your new job, relationships, health, whatever it is that's important to you. It's your action that helps you to complete the physical object back of your goal. And again, everything, excuse me for a second, Mike. Excuse me. Everything on earth is created twice. First, in my mind, your mind, and one of our fellow brothers and sisters' minds. And then second, the physical object back of it. And a big part of that physical object back of your goal being achieved and developed and created, and you holding it in your hand, is you performing action, specifically efficient and inspired action.
Awesome. So it's so true. It's so important. I think it's also important to say that you have to do each action with intention as well. Like you have to know why you're performing the action. It's very important. If you so now we've come to the part of the show where you get to ask Pappy a question, our speed manifest dating questions. So if you have a question for Pappy, you can go to the website and click on the Ask Pappy link at the top of the website. And today's question is, I am having trouble dealing with negativity and self-doubt. How can I combat and be able to manifest?
Yes, Mikey, there are numerous challenges that we have, and fear and doubt are probably 2 of the most common that we run into, Mikey. And fear is really at the very top of the list, and the universe does not judge. There is no judgment. There is no judgment. When we pass from our physical body and there's a life review, there's no one judging us on our life review. It's us looking at our life, and we know everything about it. We know that's good. We know that's not so good. We know that's a plus. We know that's a minus. There's no one judging us on this. So the biggest one with between us and the universe, that is sort of the litmus test from universal intelligence, universal subconscious mind, universal light, source power, and source energy is if there's fear in our life. And what the universe is saying is, if there's fear in our life that we're not completely trusting, we're not completely recognizing, we're not completely in harmony, we're not completely at a high vibration, a high frequency. So fear is at the very top. It's one of the lowest vibrations that we possibly can emit from ourselves. And doubt is right next to it. The doubt and the self-doubt that goes along with it. So we want to know, this is sort of like a natural gravitational pull. So if we start to take a look, Mikey, I tell our fellow brothers and sisters, when we're in these lower vibrations, at least, we want to get out of them. But if you notice, as I've stated before, human beings have up to 60,000 thoughts per day. 80% of up to 60,000 thoughts are negative, and over 90% are repetitive. They're the same thoughts over and over. Well, if 80% are negative, there's a lot of negative thoughts recurring over and over. So what I tell our fellow brothers and sisters, Mikey, is take a look at, what are these? What's the genesis? Where is this coming from? And when you get to follow that breadcrumb trail, so to speak, backwards, and find out what that is, when you take a look at fear and the false information is being delivered to you, I don't like to cite academic research, Mikey, very often, because I come from a spirituality perspective. But the research that I see over and over again, just to use a rough number, it shows like 89%, 90, 91. But let's just call it 90% of the time. 90% of whatever it is that our fellow brothers and sisters are quote unquote fearful about, approximately 90% of the time, never comes to fruition, never happens, never occurs, never, ever, ever happens. So the super majority of what we're fearful and what we're doubting never, ever occurs. So we don't want to live in that space, because we know, I've said a couple of times already on today's show, Mikey, every one of our fellow brothers and sisters, you are a magnet. You are a magnet, and you will attract unto you what your thoughts are. If your thoughts are positive, your magnet is going to attract positive toward you. If you are putting out negative and you've got negative thoughts, your magnet is going to attract negative unto you. So again, we want to be in control. You want never, ever, ever want to give up your power. You want to maintain and hold and manage your creative power as often as you can throughout the day. So recognize where this is coming from. And what I find, Mikey, with a lot of times, as a question was asked to us here, that I have trouble dealing with negativity and self-doubt, let's take a look at where that's coming from. And a lot of times, Mikey, I find that it can be from, again, repetitive situations. And it's almost like the old saying, well, I burnt my hand. And then you ask someone, well, how did you burn your hand? And they say, well, I put it on a stovetop. Well, don't do that again. So we're talking to fellow brothers and sisters like, well, yeah, I'm in a bad mood, or I'm very negative. And I'll ask them, well, what is that? Let's follow that back upstream. And they'll say, well, geez, I talked to a family member. Let's not even mention a specific family member, but I talk to a family member of mine every day, or at least every other day. And after that conversation, whether it's a FaceTime, a phone call, whatever it is, I'm in a bad place for a while. We got to start to manage that. We get to start to manage that. You either want less of those interactions, or if you have the same number, you want them to last for a shorter period of time, and or you want to start to turn that conversation from the negativity into more positive. But we'll find, Mikey, that there's a lot of recurring negativity. As I said, 80% of our thoughts is 4 out of 5. So 4 out of 5 thoughts are negative, and 90% plus of those are repetitive. So we want to eliminate. That's a great way to get 1% better and put a whole string of 1% betters today, is to eliminate this negativity and the self-doubt that's coming at us. And once our fellow brothers and sisters, Mike, I think one of the biggest moments here, the aha moment, or when the skies open up, so to speak, is whenever our fellow brothers and sisters who are listening in today, when you recognize that you control this and only you control it. You control it and only you control it. I am so happy and grateful now. I am so happy and grateful now that I know in my heart of hearts that within every problem and every solution lies the answer. Lies the answer. The universe has guaranteed me this, Mikey, over and over. The answer every time to every problem and challenge we're faced with, that the answer is right there within it. Slow down our emotions, open up, take a good look into it, lift a few things off, dust it off, whatever we need to do. And the solution is right there. And even not every time or close to it, but more than occasionally, there's even an opportunity for a quantum leap forward in what we would call a problem or a challenge. I am so happy and grateful now that I know in my heart of hearts that it's always only me versus me. I am so happy and grateful now that I know in my heart of hearts that I am my only problem and I am my only solution. So, Mike, we're talking about this. We're thinking a lot of times about this negativity and self-doubt. Initially, people, brothers and sisters, are thinking, this is coming at me. What can I do? No, you control everything. You are your only problem. You are your only solution. You control all of this. It's always only you versus you. I am so happy and grateful now that I know in my heart of hearts that the universe never does anything to me, that the universe only does things for me. The universe only does things for you, does nothing to you. The only thing that you could view as something to you would be a lesson that you're going through. It's a life's lesson that you wanted to learn, that you agreed you want to go through this. The universe does nothing to you. So this is all in your mindset. You control your mindset and turn this around. If it's negativity, that's because you're looking at more negativity, you're drawing it into. If there's self-doubt or doubt or fear, you're drawing more into you. So live your life, as we talk all the time, inside out. You have pure spirit, power, and energy flowing down into you and through you. You can only hold one thought in your mind at a time, only one thought. No one on earth controls or should control that thought. Only you control that thought in your mind, only you. Don't give up your superpower and let someone else control the only thought that's in your mind. And if you control that thought, you can make that a positive thought every single time that you want to. So do not live your life outside in, and that is all these arrows coming at you, social media, the news, television, radio, other individuals, family members, whatever it may be across the board, them stating something and offering a suggestion, and you not rejecting or canceling that suggestion, letting it come in and letting that, again, add to the virus that's in your subconscious mind we talked about earlier, your operating software that you run your life off of. So again, you are in control of this. So again, just start with 1% better every day. If you start to think more positive, if you start to offer more positive affirmation, auto suggestions, you can and will be able to turn this around in very short order.
Excellent advice. And and you hit the nail on the head. Most of the times, the things that you worry about do not even happen. So don't even
90%.
waste your time and your energy on those negative thoughts. What do you call it? Your stinking thinking. Just get out of that and
Yeah.
replace it with positive thoughts, because that's what your subconscious mind is listening to. And
Yeah,
one, you
90%.
can go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, Mikey, when you mentioned that word last week, what did you say it was? A lot of people on Sunday, when they're thinking about the week coming up,
Oh, the
they
Sunday scaries. Yeah, a lot of people get
okay,
the Sunday scaries. Absolutely. So, or
yeah. So
even like we talked about the Olympics, Simone Biles, she gets the twisties. Like you have to
twisted.
stop thinking negatively about that and replace
Yeah.
those thoughts with something positive. And you can do that in so many ways. Instead of, like you said, about social media coming in, your radio,
The
flip the
news. Yeah.
script and start meditating. Start surrounding yourself with positive music on the way to work. Listen to Pappy's Audible book on the way to work. Put that stuff all around you, because you're in control. You are 100% in control of what you put into you and around
Yes.
you. And a lot of times, like you can even just go to your book and just read a positive quote from your book, just to change that mindset that you're having, that negative mindset, just to flip the script, read something positive, and turn your day around. Like you say, win your day. So
Yes.
sometimes, you do fall off, but you get back on by just reading something that's going to inspire you. And I know that you have a quote that you want to share with us today that will inspire all of us.
Yes, Mikey, thank you so much. And Mikey, just to mention to our fellow brothers and sisters, uh, I eat my own cooking, for lack of a better word. I eat it all day long. So there's a number of books. I mean, I do better. I like reading, but it's more powerful for me with audiobooks. And there's a number of audiobooks and different things that I listen to, Mike, in addition to my book. I listen to my book a lot, but I listen to a lot of other ones as well that are basically 100% positive message. And I'll put those on. I get up. I have my 5 a.m. ritual. I have my ritual when I wake up in the morning. And again, it's just good habits instead of bad habits. Doesn't take net any longer. But as I'm showering and shaving, I'm playing something positive in the back. I'm not listening to the news. I'm not hearing social media or anything else. So before I've come in contact with any media of any type, with any technology of any type, or any other human being, first thing in the morning you wake up and I'm listening to this. So again, I do the same thing that I'm talking here with Mikey to our fellow brothers and sisters in listening to positive information as much as I can. There are certain channels on television that I just can't watch. I won't watch, and I won't mention names or anything. It all strikes us differently, but there are certain things I just can't or won't watch. It's going to put me in a bad place in very short order. And I just want to remind our fellow brothers and sisters again, Mikey, that it can start off. The power of attraction is wonderful, again, on the good side, but we got to be really careful on the negative side, because there will be something that comes into your life, some type of suggestion, again, or something from social media, from the news, from another fellow human being, and it can be small. But then because of the law of attraction, let's say it could be just, let's say 100 pounds is what we're shooting for. It could just be like a couple ounces or 1 pound. And then since the law of attraction, that's something started, let's say whether it's on the positive or negative side, and then that can attract something else. And that can attract something else. So you got to be real careful on the negative side. It can start to develop momentum. You could be in a negative zone before you think about it. So you want to be cognizant of this. So you want to be living inside out, proactively controlling as much as possible. And you get good habits and your great rituals, and you're eliminating a lot of these times that before you used to leave yourself absolutely wide open. What you'll find, Mike, is the better we get at this, and our fellow brothers and sisters, the less you'll be just allowing yourself at times to be wide open, not protecting yourself, not defending yourself. And that's what the ritual is throughout the day as well, Mike. And the universe says, hey, Pappy, there's no hard, fast rules, but it would be nice to communicate at a higher level. If all of our fellow brothers and sisters were to communicate with source energy at a higher level 3 times per day. So once when you wake up in the morning with your morning ritual, win your morning, win your day. another time in the afternoon, another time in the evening. I mean, more is better, so to speak, but you don't have to be obsessed over it. It's not working at it. I get some folks sometimes, Mikey, don't make me laugh. They'll say, okay, Pappy, I'm doing this and I'm working on everything, or however you want to phrase it, I'm doing it. And do I have to do this on a Saturday or Sunday? I don't know. I never understood that, because do you want to live? I don't want to live my happiest life on a Saturday or Sunday. Or so again, if you're looking at this as like it's a chore, or you're working at, or it's a burden, you're looking at it completely opposite of how you should. And I state all the time, over and over, that this is about a manifesting lifestyle. You need to take this pressure off. Like, I want to try to manifest something within a day or week or a month, however long. It will come to you in the perfect time that it is supposed to come to you. You don't worry about that. It's never an if, it's always only a when it's going to be delivered. So it's just a lifestyle change. And you change the lifestyle by eliminating, again, one bad habit a day, adding one good habit a day. And as you do this over the course of days, weeks, and months, you can make a massive, massive improvement in your life, where you could be looking back just as short as 1 year after you start this. And through a manifesting lifestyle, you can look back and say, wow, I can't believe how far I've come. I don't even recognize myself. I've improved so much from the person I was just 1 short year ago. 5 years. And we've got to be careful, Mikey, with the word exponential, but relatively speaking, you can have an exponential improvement in the person that you can become, that you will become, within 5 short years or less. So you're going to be here 5 years from now. Why not live the life of your dreams, manifest anything you can imagine? You're happier, you're less stressed out, there's more pep in your step, you're doing what you want to do, you're being led by things that draw you to more love, things that draw you to more joy, things that draw you to more happiness, things that draw you to more laughter. That's where I want to be, Mikey. That's where you want to be. That's where we want all of our fellow brothers and sisters to be, in more love, more joy, more happiness, more laughter. So this is how we get there. And it's a very straightforward pathway. I'm just here to instill this confidence in you to get to this next level, and to give you teaching techniques every show on how to get there. Mikey, another great quote you picked out for this week, coming around the bend towards the close of the show today. So this one is from chapter 15. There is a universal power, spirit, and energy flowing down into and through you that empowers you and never fails to present opportunity to the advancing person who's moving in obedience with universal law. To think what you want to think is to think truth, inside out, regardless of appearances, outside in. Pappy Denuzzo. So again, that quote, Mikey, I think we talked about almost every word in that quote sometime throughout the show today. So again, another very powerful quote from the book in chapter 15. And thank you for picking it out. That's a wonderful quote to come around the bend and get close to wrapping things up. So thank you so much for everyone for attending today.
That's one of my favorite quotes too. Just the idea that we are all on this call here listening together to Pappy means that we're already taking steps to become a more advancing person, and letting that energy, that positive energy, flow into us and empower us to help us manifest anything that we can imagine. So thank you for that, Pappy. I really enjoyed the show today. If you're new to Pappy Mindset Coach, be sure you're signed up on pappymindsetcoach.com to receive Pappy's free educational emails and get access to upcoming live events conducted by Pappy to help you manifest the health, wealth, and happiness of your dreams. And just one additional reminder to like, subscribe, and share our Pappy Mindset Coach across your social media platforms. Thank you very much.